uh, 811A, which has the artificial intelligence that'll identify pet, person, and vehicle. Okay, that's nice. That's nice for what I'm doing. It's better. They have had some issues with playback. If you're going to play a lot back and you want to peruse them, it was a little slow in doing that compared to my iSpy, which is instantaneous because the playback is local. But for that purpose, it's ideal and cheap, and it's a 4 megapixel, at least 4, and maybe 5, but I think they took somebody else's design and incorporated it into their suite of stuff, so it's different, but it's nice. I think they must have bought a couple of million of them.
You can get them cheap. Import order. I had to order, a million.
I can scare the hell out of the rabbits with that because it's got a light and it's got the siren.
Does it?
Yeah, oh yeah, got everything.
Like the poor little bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies are. The raccoons figured it out. When I see him, I do see him, but he's doing about 90 miles an hour. When I see him, he figured it out. That area, whatever it is, they don't like. Hurt? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. You're a little dim. I'm going to adjust my sound.
Well, that's a neat thing to say. You're a little dim.
Yeah, right. So can you hear me okay?
Can?
Jim, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just tweak a little bit here and testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Could have swung by and picked you up, all right.
Test 1, 2. Test. Yeah, that is kind of quiet. Come on, go up. Test 1, 2. Still kind of quiet.
Yeah, well, you sound a little quiet to me, but I can certainly hear you. Is that you, Steve?
Yep.
Now you sound loud, interestingly enough.
He's standing by the microphone this time.
Yeah, I'm closest to the mic.
Oh, okay. All righty.
He's our boss today.
Yeah, apparently Leroy had to go to a grandkids play or something or another.
Oh, that's cool.
These obligatory family things.
I just saw the email. That's the reason why there's like 1,500 incoming emails in my folder. I looked up last night. I had my work website or like panel overlaid with my mail in the background like that, so they were overlapped. And I looked up and I thought my work one said I had 518 emails come in yesterday afternoon. Oh my God, what the hell happened? It was my Google account, and it was just my work one was laid over just enough to the right. I could see the one for mine.
Oh,
I was like, thought something exploded, and then boss was like all over me, like, why aren't you fixing this? I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, they'd be all over you.
yeah. I'm a little anal on email. I hate having unread messages. That was one of the friction points with me and Sandy.
Yeah.
She didn't mind having unread messages. At one point, she had 32,000 unread messages in her inbox.
Yeah.
And it was okay with her.
What's the problem with that?
I was gonna say, I probably got
Well, I have
160,000
email.
on my Fuse account, cause I never read them. Because it's 90% spam.
I haven't checked my Fuse account in ever.
Only time I log in is when I need a code for the some account, has those emails to send codes to. I log in, I pull the code, and that's all I use it for.
I just set up a new,
Forward that email to
Account.
somewhere else, yeah. Well, so one of my games is tied to that and you can't change it, so it's like, that's really annoying.
what happens if you move? Don't move.
You have to open a ticket with their help desk and fight through. I've got the serial number because I got my account back like 3 years ago because I lost the password. And it was a pain getting that account back. And actually, one of my friends, she lost her account last year because she moved and changed,
Mhm.
service provider. She didn't have access to her old email that it was built with, and she doesn't know what her keys. The serial key was to activate her account, so she's not been able to log in for over a year. Like, that's bonkers. It took me 2 years to find my serial key though to get my account back. So that was a pain in the ass.
I don't have any unread messages, but I don't have any deleted messages either. I've got email going back to 2000-ish. All of it.
Yeah, I don't know how far back. I've got some email I forwarded out of stuff from way back, but I haven't looked at any of it for so long. I don't even know if I could even import that crap anymore. But I used to, before Fuse started nuking stuff after a certain age, I had all of the emails back to when I started college. Or Yahoo, and that dang account got hacked, lost all that. Engineering stuff I exported.
Gail's been crabbing about getting junk mail, and she's on Yahoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Actually, Yahoo has gotten better. I had a Yahoo account.
Yahoo's horrifyingly scary.
Yeah. Well,
So the homepage is usually half malware.
I mean, technically I have an AOL account
Yeah,
because I had a Netscape account
yeah.
before AOL.
I saw the AOL number for what? What?
They're actually at this point AOL is a badge of entertainment
Mhm.
because you can really, people like that still exist.
One of my customers was a doctor's office. And the person that did their billing and managed the bank account had an AOL address. And got everything delivered to her personal address. And they fired her. And they had me come in and said, we need you to hack her AOL account so that we can move services around. It's like, oh, that ain't happening. Sorry. No, she was one of the few people that I ever talked to that when I said, let me define a good password for you because what you're using isn't it. And she changed it. She actually had a decent 14, 15 character password. I don't know. I used to listen to her. She had a nice noisy keyboard. That was a very soothing thing for me. She typed about 85 words a minute.
Wow.
On an old Model M keyboard.
The IBM clunkers.
Yeah.
I still got 2 of those.
Really?
Yeah, one's like still in a bag.
Oh, those are worth about $400 right now.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
The other one, the cord's melted into the case.
It happens.
Well, no, I mean, it's like the
Oh, I
plastic.
know.
Yeah, I didn't know that would happen.
Yeah,
I wrapped the cord around it and it's like sunk into the
they
plastic.
outgas something that dissolves plastic.
Do they? Yeah. I've thought about pitching that, but I hate to pitch it because it's still works, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just- those were really nice tank keyboards you could stand on.
Mhm. And the funny thing is, honestly, they're crappy keyboards. It's a membrane keyboard with a very fancy spring and lever above it.
Yeah.
But they weren't, for the time, they were not a quality keyboard, but they felt good.
Yeah, okay. It did, you were insane to break them. You
Yeah.
couldn't. You'd take them apart and put them back together. Most
Did
of
I
them.
blow up?
You did?
Well, yes, I did.
And the only other keyboard I saw that held up half as well as those was the Commodore 64. That you can literally shatter the board and they'd still work. I never understood that. I was so scared I broke on one day. I was so pissed off at it, and it still worked. And I took it apart. 4 cracks going off the caps lock and all 4 different corners. The whole board was split, and it still worked.
We'll use the PWA this time. That one is built for Chromebook. Maybe.
I'm just trying to get the entire display back in here.
That is weird. It is boxed like that.
Yeah. And I had a screen that did that. But it was a choice that you made. Okay. I'm back here. Nope.
No, you said it.
Oh, monochrome.
Uh-oh, no, that would be a good one. Yeah. Yeah, try that.
I might get rid of your IP address.
Curious that sharpness is turned all the way down.
What's under advanced?
Nothing that looked promising.
Oh,
What?
your saturation stuff.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out why my 19.2 by 1080 screen is not displaying properly on a 4K display.
Hmm.
You never could stay out between the lines anyway.
Oh, there you go. HDMI out of you. Sounds like a plug. Didn't change nothing, though, did it?
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't do that. So I had a Fujitsu commercial display. It was like a $5,000 TV.
Yeah.
And it would intentionally do this if you were trying to display like a slideshow or something to make the window go away.
Right.
But I don't, I mean, this is a nice TV, but I don't think it's that sort of thing. Hmm. And it was called Zoom on that thing. It had 3 settings. It'd kill 3 pixels all the way around, or 10 or 15, something like that.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay. I don't know.
You need Dolby Dot.
Yeah.
Dolby Dot.
So unfortunately, I got nothing. Honestly, I got nothing for this weekend either. It'll be
Bye,
the same
Steve.
thing.
You're killing me, Steve.
Well, I got oh yeah, I got cameras. I got the RLC 811A. Oh yeah, I knew you would be interested in that.
Really bring in my new NAS box and you can rig it out.
I don't know what's it weigh. I'm at the point where that's a serious consideration.
Well, it's in a Dell. What is it? Dell 5600. Yeah, it's a pretty hefty little box. Plus I put in much of T18 Chinese hard drives in it. So
Yeah, let me know how that works for you.
Host
Hey, so
disabled
far they're doing
attendee screen sharing. Yeah,
really
we gotta
well.
break the new guy.
No,
Need to enable attendee screen share.
There. I'm kind of looking forward to putting some other stuff on it.
There you go.
And
okay.
Okay. Let's see if I can find where I want to get.
what was it? Nextcloud or something on it?
I absolutely love Nextcloud. I use it so much. I mean, I got my Zoom or my Nextcloud client here. Just been syncing away. That's a telephone pole. Well, that's a power pole.
So won't you see the little box? This is
Like, what's a good camera software? Isn't it like a distro underneath or something for that?
yeah. Yeah, this is Real Link, so like that camera only goes to Real Link. I don't think there is are they talking about it? I see the car on this, it saw a car. So it sees pets, cars, and people.
What's the blue dot? Motion?
Yeah, that's recording. Because it's supposed to record cars, not people, not pets, cars, yes. Cars, yes. Yeah, that it's getting a little darker in there. I changed the contrast a little lower. But that's I'm remote viewing this, so that's running off a Windows PC.
So it seems to be pretty fast and pretty good. That little box thinks that's a little pet or something. It didn't identify it, but it's whatever it finds, it's looking at that. There goes another car. But yeah, it seemed to be fast enough. I appreciate they did some things that made it better than the standard relink. The delay cutoff is normally like a minute. I don't need a minute. I have no delay on my iSpy. I mean, it's off in milliseconds. When something's finished, it's gone. There's no wasted frames in iSpy. But they've reduced it a little bit. It's got a 15-second pre-buffer, pre-record buffer. But so that's the RLC-811A with the artificial intelligence, quote unquote.
So it's the camera that's actually creating the squares and stuff?
Yep. Yeah. Actually, that software was built into iSpy like 10 years ago. I recognized the box. It's the same box iSpy was using 10 years ago, and it would put frames and said, if you see two items, you can record only when you see two items. And you see it follow the boxes around, and if there are two of them, and record. This was 10 years ago. This is incredible. But that's right. This is about a $85 camera new. It's a pretty good deal, and it does support in the RTSP. Although I've got it, still got it to work, get it to work on iSpy. Very good quality during the day. The night pictures on these are not that great. Oh, and you can turn the light on. Let me see if we can turn the light on, see what it looks like. This actually has a camera right by it, so it kind of blinds itself.
So this is real time, Jim?
Yes, sir. And that's the light. The light is really bright when it's dark. It's really bright.
So is it inside a window or something and it's getting a reflection off the glass?
No, there's a camera right beside it. You can almost see it to the left. There are two. One's a 511 and this is the 811A. And one is sticking a little further out. So you turn on those lights are bright. It's just reflecting back from the white case.
You got a lot of traffic today.
I got traffic every day. That's nothing. I turned in probably 10 trucks today. And the picture is, okay, let me show you some, oh crap, I got the, oh, there we go. I'll show you the playback. And the software is the same for every camera, even that Lumens. It's the same thing. And they update the setup on all of them. Let's see. This mouse is, in this system, the mouse is slow. And there's what it looks like. There's a little brick wall. And that looks like it's clear.
So this is the other camera?
This is the this is the 8-bit, the 8 megapixel. This is the new one. The other one,
but it's
actually,
a different vantage point.
They're almost identical. Let's see. This is a zoom camera. Okay, here goes. Oh, it caught this. This is a guy that's going to move the telephone pole eventually, and I caught him showing up. Oops. And see, it's not showing a person up in the top right-hand corner because the person is not selected to record.
So if your car was coming through on the frame like that,
You
would
get
think
both
it's a
of them.
person,
No, it would think it's a car.
even though it
It would
wasn't
have a car and a person.
horizontal.
If there's a person there. Yeah, well, yeah, it didn't identify that other one as a car either. It hadn't identified that one as a car. Maybe it wasn't turned on.
Well, I'm just saying that if the car was on, you know, in a wreck scenario where not on its
If it
wheels.
threw it out of the car, if it threw the person out of the car. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying if the car is
Now, if I turned on record for that, I'd probably put it up there. I don't know.
Have-
I've seen both of them up before, the car and the person. And the pet is not on either. But what it is they go by size.
Yeah.
So this is an item that's the size of a person.
Mhm.
And then the car is an item that's the size of a car. In order to do that, it's got to have depth.
I was gonna say, it'd
Perception of
have to
some
know
sort.
how far
Yeah.
out it is.
So that's where the intelligence comes in, I guess.
It's like, cause if it didn't have any clue or relation, the car could be tiny if it was out there in the field.
And the little PIR camera, see if I can find, okay. Okay, let me get out of this mode. I'll go back to live viewing.
Do those ELOs have their own software or do they record locally? What was it, ELO or ILO or something? You know, the
Oh.
firm,
Arlo's,
Arlos.
yeah. Yeah, there's a problem with the Arlo's. You buy a camera, you buy a receiver, and it ships your images off to arlo.com, and you can only view it there. If you want to download that video, you have to pay extra. I mean, you can do a screen capture of your PC, but
Yeah.
they were neat. They were very good resolution. They had great battery life. But I couldn't figure out a way to use them with motion. And if I can't use them with motion, I'm not buying them. I didn't buy those.
This is a Loomis here.
I'm just trying to figure out what would be a good one to put around this.
Honestly, crappy Swan cameras are okay.
I have Swan cameras,
Um,
a bunch of them.
yeah, you can get those up to 8 megapixel, no problem.
Okay.
And they work really well with motion. Swan sells a recorder cheap, comes with no drive. I think it's like $130. Put in whatever size drive you want.
Yeah.
And the video on that is stored as it's .avi or something. I mean, it's a thing that you can pull off of there.
That was the light. And it scares the heck out of rabbits and whatever. They can, and also you can turn the siren on. I'm not getting the audio for some reason, but but that's because you'd have to hear it. Yeah, and you can actually hear it from outside in the family room. So it's this full featured little turkey, and you could buy this little turkey for $40 sometimes. But I think people have figured out it's dang good camera with the software. So, and the viewing. Let me go back to live view and I can double click this. And up to 128 gig recording. And I got some, $5 128 gig chips that are darn good.
You get what, 23 cameras?
Somewhat. There's some you don't see here. I have some that aren't real links. The playback you can play. If you want to fast playback something, probably buying the real link or whatever brand recorder. Yeah, is a good thing to do because you can fast forward through these. You can go up to 16 times the speed, but it's going to pause in between recordings. And the pause is a little irritating because the recording is on the camera. Whereas with iSpy, the recording's local. Okay, let me kill this guy.
You got a really neat software, Joyful. I got to play with. But the system had some hiccups. And a couple cameras went offline. I didn't even know we had it until last couple weeks before I got canned, but It was all in a box in the security office, I guess. We do fast scrub advance and
Yeah,
hands through, and I don't know. whatever it
Verizon felt they had a hardware recorder that was pretty nice. Had the big jog dial on it, and you could, yeah, that was decent. Unfortunately, its output was VGA only. The thing had some ancient Celeron processor in there. I mean, it was surprisingly slow. I don't know how it was able to record as well as it was, but it did. We had two of them. The first one was a Linux-based box. It ran for 5 years. Then they got an upgrade that had Windows on it. It ran for 3 months.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
It was,
That's like that the day the Unix guy tried to compare that old, like 10-year-old Unix machine against the new Pentium Pro 200s, and 3.5 days or something, the Unix box solved the problem. In like 2.5 days, the Windows box ran out of RAM and crashed. And we still ended up with a lab full of Pentium Pro 200s. Like, but it won't solve the problems. These students won't be able to, do their homework. But we put 75 students in front of them instead of 12 for the same price.
that's a chip on it. The Pentium Pros.
Yeah. That'd be hard to turn into a coaster because it's a $2,000 chip.
What?
Well, gold's up to $2,000 an ounce, right?
Okay.
Pentium Pro 200 is 0.98 ounces.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. Oh, maybe I need to reevaluate some of my toys.
Expensive chip ever manufactured. Well, it wasn't expensive. It is the most profitable chip ever manufactured. Because they weren't expensive back then.
I remember building Pentium Pro machines when I was at PC Upgrades, and they were impressive. I mean,
You see, we built 75 of those, and
those were all loaded with NT, and I was impressed by how smooth the mouse worked in NT. It read the mouse position at like 100 hertz, whereas Windows 3.1.1 at the time was reading it at 10. So you move the mouse and just tick, 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 and in NT it's like smooth.
yeah, that was the thing that was funny too, is looking back on the days and looking at some of the scrap prices and the stuff that everybody was like, well, those are the best chips to get. And I was like, yeah, it's like, how much gold was in the motherboard that went with those? Oh,
Yeah.
it's 3. Wow, with those boards. And they were the last motherboards to have gold. A lot of people would pull those chips and pitch the boards. And it's like,
When I was still going to CCC, I always wanted to grab one of those Gaylords full of memory.
yeah.
There's a lot of gold in there.
I've never seen any memory laying around there very much though. Unless it was
Really? When I was going there, they had Gaylords full of nothing but memory chips.
if they were selling them or scrapping them or what.
Well, they were selling them. They were selling all that stuff.
I know most every because I kind of always looked around and asked about RAM several times, and they said they didn't have any of any particular size.
Yeah.
you might find, you know, like a giggling around here and there on some stuff. I was looking for, you know, big RAM. ECC RAM or 12, you know, 16 gig chips or 8 gig chips or, oh, we got nothing like that around here.
At LCS. Yesterday, I took a machine up to our scrapyard. We have up on the 3rd floor, we have a room with a bunch of spare parts in it. It's a HP. No.
No. Oh.
I have some.
Those were like awesome.
Yeah, so pretty blue and tan. No, this was an ML385 Gen 10 with a serious processor in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, surprisingly nice. And I'm trying to figure out why they had me put it up there. And if they'd noticed if it hadn't made it. We've got piles of older computers around. i7, Gen 7.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gen 7 are,
Yeah, but they're okay.
yeah, they're all right. They're better than the 9s.
Oh,
Oh yeah, for speed.
oh, because that's when they did the efficiency cores.
Well, they started bottlenecking it all. 8's the first gen for the VR stuff, but then they added so much other things that slows them down.
Hmm.
7s are actually pretty decent. 6 is okay too. What's really scary is 1st gen versus 8th gen are almost parallel.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because the 1st gen were tri-chipped,
mhm.
so that the RAM speed interface is only like, so the output performance is only like 1% different than the 8th gen
Okay.
for processing.
Hmm.
So that really floored me. I was like, what the hell's going on here? But because somebody gave me like a 6th gen and it was with DDR4, and I was like, how can this be worse than my 1st gen? And I built that 8th gen because of the VR rig I built or got after going out to PAX or whatever. You had to have a 8th gen or higher to run VR instruction set.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like, I really expected a big upgrade in my machine, and it was like 2%. I was like, what? Like, I got faster RAM, and I've got, you know.
Vicente, Ken.
greetings. Sorry about that. I don't know how long you were waiting there. There he is.
Hey, Vicente.
So you.
Hey, go quiet.
Oh, Kenny's there. Hey, Ken.
Hey.
But I was looking at the, like, my friend got the new 4090 video card,
Okay.
and the, like, was it 12th gen i9 bottlenecks the video card like 45%. I was like, wait, what? Like 50% of the video card's lost because the processor can't keep up with it.
Think you've already got it open.
What?
Yeah, you got something to show us?
Yeah, you're already open, Ken. So
Yeah. All right.
Oh, there, yeah, there's a meeting announcement. We got that. I'll just alt tab back to your, yeah, yours, you got alt tab to get off the screen.
We'll see you in about. You guys play with any of the AI tools yet?
No.
My buddy, I don't know if we're still gonna have lunch tomorrow or not. He pulled down one of the like self-hosted openware ones.
You went out to the mailbox and recognized her.
And fed it the NIST standard and the manuals and all that to it. So then it does all the documentation for him for how to implement and roll out documenting his office work.
Okay, Google, turn on socket 2.
No. Do an alt tab or hit close screen at Ken, are you trying to share your screen with us?
No.
No, you are. Oh, you can close it as a manager, you can close it. Yeah. Ah,
I open another camera to show stuff.
wow.
Okay.
I'm testing, but I don't know how to change the camera to the back of the phone. It uses the front camera only.
Double tap the screen, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Double tap.
No, it. Camera. Let me see.
You had switched it there for a moment.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're flopping back and forth.
There you go. Make up your mind.
Yes. Okay. How about the audio? I don't know if this new Bluetooth phone, headphones had a microphone.
Yes.
Do you hear me? If I move far from the computer, do you hear me the same way?
Yeah,
So
Can
far,
you hear me?
yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. If I move to this area, do you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, so I can show moving around with the phone. I can show you the.
oh, yeah, you guys a little thing on the thing.
My setting of about the camera. ESP32 camera connected to a display and capturing 25 frames per second. After capturing the image is black and white. I don't know if you see here. After the capturing the image, I am drawing stuff over the screen. The upper left corner is a icon that I put over the image, and then I make a vertical green line and a red square in the center. But this doesn't appear in the.
Oh, come on. Man. Do we really need a Halloween decoration like that?
Install the camera and the display to develop the line follower for the robot, but the robot will carry the display also. So I can see how the line is identified. I will draw the algorithm in the screen over the image to check that everything is working okay. So I need the camera and the display in a single case or a single assembly. But I don't know how to deal with those cables. It's too much wiring. I see how to make it smaller and compact.
No, this isn't a targeting system, right?
So this is Troy.
Oh, I just seen some AI stuff.
Come.
I'm nervous.
There's spot.
Come here. Say hi.
My Bobby.
So where are the peanuts?
No, I stopped giving peanuts. They are in the shelves, but she has she's having a bad stomach or something. We are giving him antibiotics.
Oh,
Yes, he's strange, but he is leaving the food, only eat the half of the food. But now it's okay, but was the last week the problem. Now is with the antibiotics, he's getting better. He's okay, he's happy. So everything is okay, right? Say hi.
hi.
Ah, that's a cute puppy there. How's your beagle doing?
Huh?
Asking Steve, how's this? That's not a beagle, you
Basset.
got a basset. That's right.
She's fine. It's amazing how much a basset would eat if
If you let
she
it.
was allowed to.
Yeah. They'll eat the whole freaking bag if given the opportunity.
I was changing the batteries of all the security system of the house.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Got the 12 volts.
No, this is a 3.33 volts.
Oh,
3 volts.
CR123s.
Yeah. And the small one, the doors switches are CS 2032 from Costco, September 2021.
What's the rechargeable cells? Look like 5-digit. Look like a little oversized AA.
18650 is the original size. There
Yeah.
is
So this
it's
number,
bigger than AA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
18
18650, but they got newer ones now.
yeah. So is it? I have a Duracell or not a Duracell, DeWalt.
this number is the battery number, but it's also the battery duration.
Yeah.
Supposedly they last 10 years, and the model is 2032 also. It's a coincidence.
Yeah. Bought on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know. This
So-
this is the
They're various sizes.
Yeah. Oh, this is a DeWalt 20-volt max recharger or battery pack that I took apart, and the two end ones are reading like 1.1, 1.2 volts, and then the three middle ones are reading 0.3.
They're all bad.
what?
Are they?
Yeah,
You should be 3 volts.
wrong.
ish.
But I mean, it's completely drained. I was just curious if it was possible to like trickle charge those three back up and realign them, or if they're
Usually when they
just
go
toast.
below, they're gone.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
But those are rebuildable. But there should be a balancer in there.
Yeah.
And that's the job of the balancer. It bypasses cells that are already charged to continue charging the ones that need it.
Completed, yeah. Well, that's the thing, it won't charge. It reads it like a dead cell.
Yeah.
When you plug it into the charger. So I just, my uncle was like, hey, can you fix this? And I was like, sure, let's take a look. I don't have the like spot welder to,
Now,
you know,
yeah,
solder them back on or spot them back on if I got placement ones, but
Kenny,
if you guys knew a good source for buying 1865 50s that weren't like $10 a piece, because at $10 a piece, you might as well just go buy a new one.
yeah. Or
Kenny,
measure them, find out if that's what they are. So 18 millimeter diameter, 65 millimeter long. And then there's an 18650 that's got a bump on the end of it
Yeah,
that's 67 millimeters long, but it's still called an 18650.
yeah. I saw where the two models, and one guy's like, you bought the wrong,
Yeah,
which nuts on the end.
you
but-
can buy them with solder tabs pre-applied.
and,
Yeah, and at that point, well, they're nickel, but you can solder to those without damaging the cell. But you don't want to get lithium batteries hot.
Yeah.
Just solder quick.
Well, that's what I thought. I watched a guy repair one, and he had like a little bitty. I don't know if you've ever seen a portable spot welder. It was like the size of the
Yeah.
phone. I thought, dude, that was slick. So I looked those up, and it was like $250 for an American made one, but then they're like $40 on
Yeah.
AliExpress. So I was like,
If you're not too concerned about size, you can build your own or buy one for 20.
Change.
Yeah, you can get a pretty good size one for $20.
Well,
It's got
that'd
a
be cool.
microwave oven transformer in it,
Yeah,
run backwards.
you got a DIY how to make one.
Yeah.
Because I got 4 or 5 microwaves. I'm just
Oh, yeah, they're pretty straightforward. They just,
don't touch the coil when you go.
well, you take out all the fine wire windings, because that's what powers the microwave. You leave the 120 volt winding, and then you put about 3 loops of battery cable through it. And that's it. That's all she needs. Bring that down to 2 carbon probes and you're good. There's not much to them. Do a foot pedal to turn it on and off.
That
About 70 amps. Kind of scary.
I'll say the one guy made it look really easy, but then I was like, I've never even seen anything like that. So I was like, wondered how they've done them,
Yeah.
but I didn't know a good place to get those cells before COVID. They were like $1 a piece, I thought, but I was digging around. I couldn't find them much under $7 a piece or something.
I bought 4 recently at about $350 a cell, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. Yeah. They can email you the company. I got it through Amazon though.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it would be easy to fix it, to put them back together or not. Whether it was worth messing with.
I really want to test mine because they're labeled as 5 amp hour, I think. 5,000 milliamp hour. That's a lot for a battery that big.
Well, I was gonna say, I saw some that were up in that amperage. Most of them were 3 or 4, but then there was a couple I saw for 5.
Yeah.
And they lie a lot about the capacity.
No. Not
A lot.
China
A
stuff.
lot,
What do you mean they added a 0?
a lot.
So what does a teeny tiny little inland camera cost?
This one,
Yeah,
I don't remember. I bought two in Micro Center last week. I don't remember, 14 bucks, 7 each.
huh, not bad.
No, shit. The problem is that they come without the programmer. You need to buy this board that goes in the back connected to have the micro USB connector for programming. They come without the programming board. I have them.
That's pretty small. Make that look like a bolt on your lamp on the outside of your
This is
house.
the package.
Nobody know there's a camera there.
This is the Inland. They have their own brand. You have two for 18 bucks. You see?
Huh. Or less, because
But
nothing at Micro Center.
I bought them because there are two models. The common is this one that I put an orange sticker on it because the pin, the ground pin in this model is the reset pin in this other model. So they don't break out the reset pin in this board. So you need to manually press reset and flash button each time you program it. And with the inland model, you have the reset pin where the ground pin is in other models. So it flash automatically without pressing anything. That's what I bought the Micro Center model, because they comes with the reset pin connected to the programming board, so the programming board can automatically put the camera in flashing mode. But mostly of the AliExpress boards comes with this pin connected to ground, so it doesn't work. You need to press in the camera the reset, and in the programming board the GPO 0, that is the one that flashed the microcontroller. So you need to use your hands each time you want to reprogram the board. I check in Amazon for the images to check that the pin comes with the reset. And twice I bought the wrong board in Amazon because the picture shows that the pin is a reset, but the actual board that I received comes with ground in the pin. So I was checking last week in Micro Center for their boards, and they are correctly connected for auto flashing. So I bought these two for that. I bought from AliExpress a bunch of them, and each one that has the orange sticker has the wrong pin. I don't know why. I bought with different lens sizes to make different experiments. This is like a fish eye lens. The standard is 66-degree angle, and I bought 120, 140, 160, but it's just for experimenting. I have a lot of them. This one is okay, doesn't have the orange sticker. The pin is reset. The pin need to be reset. This is the one that Leroy likes, and 5 stack. But this is a very old model. Let me open it. This is a camera from M5 stack. It's tiny. The problem with this camera is you don't have pins to do anything, just the camera and the programming connector and a grub connector here for I2C or whatever you want to do. It's a very compact thing.
Yeah, that's scary. Does that thing have a microphone too?
Excuse me?
Does that have a microphone as well?
I don't know. Let me check. The new one has a microphone. This is a very old model. Discontinued. No. No, it doesn't have.
That's scary.
It comes with a head sink.
We got a team.
It really needs very hot when it's working. There is another version that is the one I am using because
Well, yeah. Just recorded it, what?
let me show. This is another model. This one comes with the programming port included here, but it doesn't work automatically. You need to press. You need to press the flashing button while you reset it. So it's manual, but I am using this one because I have access to the pins. You use this one, when you use the programming board, you lose access to the pins.
Well, of course
Because
you do.
it covers all the pins, all the I/O. So I have this other board that has the pins and the programming port. This is the one I am using in the developing setting I have there. But each time I want to program, I need to press. I need to press the buttons each time I want to program it, reprogramming. But this is I have all the models of this camera. This is from Micro Center. This is the integrated programming. This is alone without the programmer. And this is the one with the add-on programmer. But you lose all the access to the pins in this one. So this is it. Okay. One thing happened. I was visiting a Goodwill store, and I bought a huge TV, flat TV, for $30. I am planning to use it as a track designer for the robot. I will put the TV flat in the table, and I will draw the lines in the screen of the TV using a Raspberry Pi or something. So you can change your path every time, just touching a button. You draw a different path in the screen, but I need to check if the robot detects the white and black colors in the screen. I suppose that it will work, but I bought it because the TV was really flat and light, so I can carry it to the meeting. And it's big, but it's portable and was cheap.
Mhm. Mhm. I wish you hadn't told us that, Vicente.
Why?
Well, just that gave me some ideas about what to do with all my old monitors.
So
Indeed.
now I need to make a program in the Raspberry Pi to draw tracks in the screen.
We had a guy with a van, and he had a projector, 35mm slides, and he projected on the bottom of a frosted glass table.
Boy,
It was great.
that's awesome.
Go from room to room. Each one was labeled with how many slides away it was at each exit. So you just, whether you were going after a 1, 2, 3, or 9,
Yeah.
then advance to the next slide. 60 rooms in a carousel.
Yeah. That's good. I got a bunch of old monitors. Never even thought about laying one on its back. The plexiglass over it and make it up.
Use real glass.
What's
Glass scratches really easily.
does it? Yeah, use. Well, actually, I've got a whole bunch of printer glass out of my old printers and crap.
Yeah, that's a good size too.
Got bad influences.
I used to paint. I knew folks that worked at Ralph Bartha, and I used to paint figures for a couple of hobby shops in Fairfield. It was a long time ago. But at one point, I had almost 800 pounds of figures.
I'd love to have that. You can have. Always like this stuff, never could afford any of it.
Oh, I didn't pay for hardly any.
I know. I've heard your story, you think make me sad. Especially the old ones.
Yeah, I have those now.
I guess when you grew up. His best friend was in the private schools. He'd have all the sheet and what all they cost. He was one of those. I mean, I think his dad bought him a couple figures, but nothing like Pretty Little with that. Yeah. But his buddy had several.
So the only ones I ever bought were crappy knockoffs. When D&D was big at Montgomery Ward, they were selling figures and they were just bad. And I remember I bought a bunch of those because they were cheap, like 20 cents a piece.
Oh, I had when I went to college, there was a little store there in Short Line. It was like a music shop or something, had a little display case, and they were selling some that were like, and they were dated like 1978 or something like that. And I bought 2 or 3 of those in college when they were, you know, 18 or 20 bucks. I think $8 a piece or something. I don't know,
No.
30 or 40 bucks in them.
Was that the Jupiter Game Room by any chance?
No, it was some record shop.
Oh, okay.
And the guy that was in the class ahead of me was a big record guy.
This is the
Took me down there when I was.
the base to work with the robot.
But when I worked at Walden Software, I left in the assistant manager's house and they made stone. Oh,
Years later, you still want
I
I'm
want
gonna
him
cut
back.
off the toes.
I'd like that. I'd just be happy to have him back because I really like pewter figurines. And those actually were pretty decent ones.
So Vicente, why is it mounted on a block?
What? What?
Why is the robot mounted on a block like that?
Because each time you change the program, sometimes it was running or doing stuff, so it tried to move in
Oh.
your desk. You know, in this way
Oh,
you have
so
the robot just floating, and it doesn't matter if it try to move. It's okay.
so when you're changing the program, the
Yeah.
robot doesn't take off across your desk and
Exactly. Yes, that's a problem. Well, actually, the people in the comments in the website of the manufacturer say that there is a problem because you have a switch to turn off the robot, but when you plug in your USB connector here for programming, this board feed the motors. Okay, so it start immediately to run. If you have a program to go straight, for example, and you connect your programmer, the robot goes straight and hit something or go out of the desk. So I thought, okay, let me use something that keeps the robot in place. Let me show you. It just, you see, the robot has holes for connect different hardware. I'm using the holes of the robot, and they have also connector for how you call the
Sensors.
Cocodrile connectors or Cayman connectors. I don't remember the
Alligator clips?
alligator, yeah, clips, exactly. close enough. So I am using the holes for the alligator clips to hold the robot in place. You see here.
It's like you guys see the military robot they used to blow the wheel on the shuttle carrier or something?
No.
Army has like some little micro tank drone with a big drill on it to drill a hole into the tire that let the pressure out.
yeah.
On the shuttle?
That was like the shuttle carrier or something. For some reason they had to let the air out on it and they didn't want anybody around it. So they had this like little, looked like a mini scaled like M1 Abrams tank with a like a big,
now I have a
Fucking fantastic.
this is a demo program to check the motors and the LEDs And if I have this demo without the base, it moves around, you know?
Yeah.
So, well, my idea is to connect the camera to make a 3D printed fixture, to use these holes to put the camera over the robot here with an angle, and use the camera to check the line and make the follower using the image of the camera instead of the sensors under the robot, the infrared sensors. So with the camera, I can look farther, so I can anticipate the movement and I can go faster. Okay, instead of sensing very close to the wheels, you need to move too much to correct. But if you look forward, you have more time to correct your direction.
Very short range vision. That's kind of slick idea too. Look ahead and prepare it.
Yeah.
80% of my next moves are going to need to go left.
This connector is the charger of the battery. Right to charge.
I don't make like a robot for a competition.
They do.
No, I mean we should.
Oh,
We should have like a project. Micro battle bots or something.
they used to. So schools were in those. Lakota was doing really well. And years ago, when Forest Fair Mall was still a thing, they had their robots over there. The kids would meet after school at Forest Fair and work on the thing. That was kind of cool. That was 10 years ago. NASA doing competitions.
Still does it, doesn't they? I see their robots at some of the fairs here and there. I just didn't know what all they did or where they do it or anything. They got a cyber team too.
Really?
Yeah. Jan was the professor, the teacher, about just before COVID. One of his kids made it to fourth in the US for hacking.
Cool.
They pissed him off and quit, but the principal wanted to document everything and how to teach the class and stuff. And his opinion was that you had to teach morality with it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. Didn't like his version of morality or what?
So any ETA on when you'll have that ready to bring in?
What?
When's it'll be finished?
When are you going to be ready to live demo?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not working still.
You got all that free time, don't you, Vicente?
Huh?
You got
Free
all that
time, yes. Yeah, I'm retired, remember?
How many other projects do you have on the burner?
I'm doing a lot of stuff, but this is something that is pending. I'm trying to learn there is a library, OpenCV
Mhm.
for the computer of Raspberry Pi, but this camera, all the examples that you see in YouTube or whatever, they use the camera to take pictures, send to the computer. In the computer, you do the image processing and send back the commands to the robot or whatever, right? My idea is to do all the processing in the camera, all the color processing or the lighting or the track recognition. So I dealing with the details of the camera, of how to increase the frames per second. Originally, I had 3 frames per second. Now I have 25 frames per second. I think I have enough time between the frames to estimate the line direction, the line position. So will be pretty good to have 25 samples per second for the robot to choose how to move.
I think so.
But I had problems with the display and with the camera, you know, a lot of details and noises and things. And I had to read a lot about the drivers of each, the camera and the display, to clean everything to make it works nice, because I need to prevent that lines or stuff that appears in the screen will affect the algorithm to identify the line. So I was playing with how to establish a grade level to decide if a pixel is white or is black, is the contrast, full contrast, and establish a line and move this line depending on the lighting of the setting. Because any change in the lighting or any change in the angle of the camera, everything affects the algorithm. So I need to control everything. Maybe I just bought 3 infrared cameras from Amazon, from AliExpress. The cameras cost 99 cents. So you unplug this camera and put the new one, but the new one works in the dark, you know. So may I put a couple of infrared LEDs and use this camera to be immune to the light conditions, so the robot will move around without worry about shadows or change in condition of the lighting. That will be good. And the camera is really cheap. They sell the cameras for $1, $2, or the simple one is 99 cents. You just unplug this connector, you move the black tab, and you change the camera, and they are really cheap. So I will continue working with the visible light, but then I can change to the infrared, to make it more robust. Again, different changes. I know that people used to have problems with the different lighting, you know. Fluorescent is different than LEDs, is different than the incandescent lamps. So each one has different spectrum, and the camera behaves different with each one. So you need to prevent this thing also. Another thing I am doing is identifying colors in the image. And the last thing I need to do is to separate the different objects in the camera, try to identify how many objects of a different color is in the image. So you can use the camera to count stuff. You can put several objects in the camera, and the camera will count them because it's capable of separate each blob of the image. So all those stuff is already done in the library of OpenCV, but I need to make it lighter and faster to work in this camera alone. And I'm learning alone about a lot of image processing with that. You know, I need to understand each algorithm. I need to understand how to make it faster and smaller. And it's fun. It's great to do that. The robot continue charging.
Smiley face.
Yeah.
I have a new mouse also. This one. $9 from Amazon. This mat, $199 in Micro Center. This mat. You can spend $20 for a mat in Micro Center if you want. They have different brands. I asked the guy, okay, I need the cheapest one, and was hidden in some place. This one is $199. Okay, this is the one I like.
Actually, a good place to get a mouse pad is IKEA.
IKEA.
Yeah, they make
in the kitchen area.
No. IKEA has started selling gaming computers and gaming desks and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
And
Right.
or maybe not the computers, but desks. And they've got a full desktop mouse pad
Okay.
for like
great.
for $14.
Nice.
Yeah, with a sewn edge. I got one.
I need to find some plastic or I don't know to put over the TV. Remember I told you about use the TV as a track for the robot, but I don't want the robot running in the screen directly. So I want to put something rubbery and thin over the screen to have track and to protect the TV. I will check different options.
Yeah, I got nothing on that.
The funny thing is that you can make a track that is changing in time. You know, you have a shape that is changing, and the robot is moving around in something that is changing shape. Will be fun to see the robot trying to follow different paths when the time is passing. I was imagining this morning. Maybe using the Raspberry Pi with the mouse, you can just trace the track trace your track with the mouse in the screen, just like painting, you know. You change the stroke size and the color or whatever, and you create the track with the mouse, and then erase and create a new track or whatever. Maybe interesting also to check the gray levels in the screen, to make you remember the track with the gray levels, to do that in the screen. But I don't know how the light will behave in the coming out of the screen for the sensors. I need to check that. But will be fun. I remember in the 80s, there was a pen for your computer, a pen with a light sensor, and you can touch your screen with the pen, and there is some kind of synchronization between the pen sensor and the scanning of the screen. So
Yeah.
you could write stuff in your screen, but was before the mouse, you know, was a pen connected to the computer, a light sensor, and the computer identifies where are you touching, because it knows where the scanning ray is moving, and synchronize the path of the ray with your sensor, and annotate the coordinates in the screen, and just turn on the pixel in the screen. This was a very old way of painting in the screen.
Yeah, that was part of the CGA standard. There was a phono plug on there just for a light sensor. So the light sensor was used to, or was compared to the dot clock. Actually, I can get you schematics for that if you want.
Yeah, okay. No, it's okay. I will use
You can
a
build
more
your
modern
own CGA display.
But with the new graphic cards, it's impossible to try to catch when it is hitting your sensor. I mean, you can draw a graphic program that do the scanning for you, maybe 60 frames, but your sensor will sense maybe 10 times per second the position or whatever. I don't know. It's no. I was thinking on to make a program to do a binary search. I mean, you put the sensor in the screen and you turn on half of the screen and off the other half. You know, I am talking about a fraction of a second. And depending on the section that you sense your sensor detected light, your program change to this area and divide the area by half again, and check with which half has the sensor. And you continue breaking the screen in half and half and half until you reach the sensor position. Do you get it?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you will spend maybe a couple of seconds each time you want to figure out the sensor position, because you need to go over the frames per second of the screen. Your sensing need to be slower, because you will use the serial port to tell your program, okay, it's light or it's dark, the screen. So you need a fraction of a second, maybe 100 milliseconds or so. And the program will create a new path for the next test. And so maybe this is easy to implement, you know, just for fun to check out. Just use a photo transistor or something, connected to an Arduino to the serial port, maybe 150 baud or so. And you start creating this image that is changing to figure out where the sensor is. But it's really old-fashioned thing. The screen will be flickering all the time for several seconds to figure out where the sensor is. I think it's better to use the mouse and you draw a cursor in the screen and you draw with your mouse the track, and that's it. Maybe a program in Python in the Raspberry Pi to do that may be easier. It's a drawing program. Maybe the program already exists, a program that to have a black screen and to draw a line of different thickness with the mouse, and that's it.
That almost certainly exists.
Yeah, my worry is that you don't have the enough stroke width to make a track maybe of an inch. You know, the drawing program maybe is not capable of have this stroke so big, but I checked that. It's easy to find out. How was Steve? How was your experience with the Raspberry Pi, the new one, the 5, right?
Pretty good, mostly. It's definitely fast. I need to learn more about how Wayland works. And for my use case, I need to recompile FreeRDP to use Wayland instead of X.
Okay. It's still scarce to find the Raspberry Pi. Hard to find.
I think Chicago Electric has them. I think they've got them in stock for sale.
Okay. I use a lot of processing for drawing stuff in my computer. I find out that there is a processing version for the Raspberry Pi, but you need to compile the full operating system. They have a special edition of the operating system, so you need to create an image for processing. It's not a way to import the program for your Raspbian or something. You need to load the compiled version with the processing compiler integrated. I am not a fan of that, but it's an option. Another option is to use a Python graphic library and just make a program in Python for the Raspberry Pi. Will be easy to make a drawing program, a simple one in Python. Another thing I was working on is, you know, the camera in the robot will be looking forward and we'll see a flat surface in front of it. And I want to translate this surface that the camera see in a rectangle in the distances in the table, you know. Each time you see a pixel in the camera that is on or off or whatever, you want to know where in the real world is this point in the table, in front of the robot or in the floor, you know. And well, it's very complex the math to do that, you know. So I am thinking in a way to make it simple, just to when there, for example, my idea is to make a robot behave like a cat following a laser dot. You see, you put a laser dot in front of the robot, and the robot knows exactly the position of the dot and try to follow the dot, you know. But for that, I need to translate the image in the camera to a position in front of the robot. So the robot will move to the dot. Okay. So I need to figure out how to translate the rectangle in the camera to this another rectangle that is deformed in the flat floor, and to do it fast so the robot can follow your laser pointer quickly, you know. This is another idea I have in mind to use the camera for. I mean, it's really easy to find the brightest spot in the image. It's easy, but the idea is to convert these coordinates of the brightest spot to a position in front of the robot, to a physical position, and move the robot toward the dot. This will be interesting also. So the robot will be staring behind the red dot of the laser. It's another application for the camera.
So can you just divide the screen into quadrants? If it's in quadrant 1 or 2,
Yeah,
go forward left or right. And if it's in 3 or 4, you're close enough to stop.
yeah. This is an approach, a simple thing. But I was trying to figure out to make it more precise, more formal. But you're right. You can just
We got 5 minutes.
create sectors in your screen and follow the direction approximately will be enough. Just but to make the movement more smooth, will be nice to have the exact position and to control the neurons to seek this point. I don't know. There is a lot of experimentation ahead for that.
I checked. Chicago Electric is shipping Pi 5s right now. So if you want one, they can
How much?
ship them to you.
How much?
Whatever they're the 8 gig is 65, I think.
Yeah. But I still have a Raspberry Pi 4 in the box. Maybe I need to open it.
We don't want to have too many Raspberry Pi devices floating around.
Yeah, we do.
I have a lot of Zero, Raspberry Pi Zero W.
It's so bad. I just got rid of one of mine. I had one too.
got a few of those, and I still don't do anything with any of them.
And that's a good thing. We need, do we need to be doing projects?
Yeah,
We do, okay, then do we want to motivate people to do projects?
Yeah,
And if they do project like Vicente does projects, he's not fast, but you know, we're not gonna backstab him and talk about how
Yeah.
slow he is. No, we're not gonna do that. We can't backstab, particularly if you're not doing project yourself, okay?
I am jumping.
Yeah, Vicente,
We just want.
we appreciate what you do. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
But do
you
it
know,
faster.
and
Here, here.
meanwhile, yeah, it's work. Ask Leroy, it's work doing projects. Leroy does a
Yeah.
lot of projects.
Yeah, a lot.
And I try to put news in here, science news, but you guys not terribly interested in that. Battery news. Aren't you, doesn't battery news excite you?
I like batteries. New batteries.
But yeah, we can do project work and somebody's
Yeah,
motivated, and
batteries.
it's hard though. And we gotta appreciate it. We can't
Battery
bitch,
news.
we can't
Battery.
bitch. Yeah. Appreciate what people do for you.
we got 2
Yep.
minutes.
Let's see, the meetings are set up for January, February, March. This is the last real meeting this month. We have two virtual meetings, and then we're done for this year. And then we start the first and second Thursdays for January, February, and I got March 8th set up, and I'm working exactly on 90 days to get these scheduled. So we're getting there.
Can you send the schedule in?
The schedule's
by
in the
mail?
agenda, just like always. Yeah, the schedule's
Okay.
there.
Okay,
And the time, so all regular times so far. I'm expect to be tight again next September when school opens. That seems to be when everything hits a fan. Everybody's back and want to do meetings because it's getting cold and all that stuff. Other than that, there's our first humanoid robot factory in history is opening. Oh yeah, in 2025, I think it is. Axios in
wow.
Salem, Oregon.
Yeah. Could be-
There's a link to it in the news if you guys want to see it.
Okay,
And a pretty good summary of all the battery options that are out there, the sodium ion and the solid state lithiums and all that crap. There's a summary of it. Cool. Okay. So next week is virtual. Our main objective.
sounds good.
I got the Lexington horse thing in the book listing now, and also
Okay.
The Lexington horse thing.
yeah, Lexington the horse. He's the one the only Triple Crown winner that is not related to Lexington is Citation.
Okay,
That's the only one that's not related to him.
So somebody else slipped in there at the stud farm, huh?
His bones are in the International Horse Museum in Lexington. He was pre-Civil War. Well, it's a very good read. Very interesting. It's
This is on the Ohio Digital Library.
yep.
Is it available both as an ebook and as an audio book?
Usually if it's audio, it's available as an ebook
Yeah.
also. Usually.
Okay.
okay. Well, gentlemen, we'll see you again next week. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Let the hand speak.